Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the End Time Truth Television. I'd like you to listen to Dr. Paul Enenche as he delivered this short message. Now, I'm going to divide this message into two. He shared his candid opinion about some certain individuals that he met and he regretted ever meeting them and prayed for his audience that they must never and God should never allow them come in contact with such individuals. Now, it is quite possible for everybody or anybody to link this video to the recent the ongoing war of words indirectly and directly between him and Dr. Ebe Damina, but I completely want to stay away from that. There are things he said. I'm going to divide the video into two. I agree, some of the things he said, and there are certain things he said which actually may be true, but in God, those things somehow don't count. Well, anyway, for you to know what I'm talking about, you need to listen to him and then you come back and hear me out as well. Thank you and God bless you. See you at the end of the video.
And I'll preach before this conference is over. There are a people God should never allow your path to cross. A people you must never meet, because they neither belong to your past, your present, or your future. They can't accommodate anything about you. You don't belong. I met these people. Relationship in the first place was an error. These were people who had no discipline of an official university education.
That's right.
None, zero.
That's right. That's sir. That's right.
The best was halfly educated, mid-level. Rest, secondary school, dropout. So the discipline of life, how you face life with discipline, zero. Where there was zero financial discipline, no difference between church money or God's money. Where pastor's wife can go straight from with offering money in the market to buy things. Since this ministry started, the checkbook of this church has never been in my possession once. Can never be. I never believed that church money belonged to the pastor. And any pastor here who is eating the church money or taking the tithes, you need to repent. Then zero marital family life, zero. Where you can have pastor's wife shouting on husband in front of everybody. Question is, what is this? Mindset different, lifestyle different, focus different, principles of life different, every single thing different. On your marks, get set, move. When I begin to draw the lessons at the end, there are things you must never manage any association, even for 2 days, if you notice that principles are different.
All right, you are highly welcome. Thank you if you're still here. Like I said, I'm going to divide the video into two, and I will tell you the areas, the things he said that I completely agree with, and which also, sent me into the world of thinking that sometimes, you and I may have been wrong about some of the things that we think of these men. There are some of these people that are actually honorable. There are, if you have, sincerely listened to me, you will understand that The fact that somebody came out and said some things, made mistake with words, does not translate that that person is a desperado or that that person is fake. There are those who we know they have displayed themselves, they have manifested all kinds of things, and that gave them away. Now, I'm going to start with what he said rightly, and not actually that I'm saying that he was wrong in the other things that he said, but first and foremost, let us listen to this part of the things that he said, which completely I agree with.
And I'll preach before this conference is over. There are a people God should never allow your path to cross. A people you must never meet, because they neither belong to your past, your present, or your future. They can't accommodate anything about you. You don't belong. I met these people. Relationship in the first place was an error. These were people who had no discipline of an official university education.
That's right.
None, zero.
That's right. That's true. That's true.
The best was halfly educated,
That's true.
mid-level. Rest, secondary school, dropout. So the discipline of life, how you face life with discipline, zero.
Aye. Aye.
Where there was zero financial discipline.
Okay, in order for me not to elongate the video unnecessarily, let us start from where he stopped. Zero financial discipline. Now, this is the bane of so many pushers. You know, there are. It is not strange that there are some persons, you know, whose motivation coming into ministry was actually money, and so when they entered into ministry, they want to smash and grab everything they can, and so there is no accountability. They have not been able to separate, you know, the church money from the ones that they are, are allowed to touch. Now, just like he said there, and you see, I don't have any reason to say otherwise, that he doesn't tamper with church money. Now, I want to thank God for that. But you know, there are some persons that think that the church money is theirs. The church money is their own property. They don't have any form of restriction. They can spend it. They can lavish it. They can just use it. And those ones, when you see them fight, you know, they can kill in order to maintain their level of um spending, you know, their kind of lifestyle with the church money. And like I said, I don't actually want to link anybody to what he's saying, but if you have been following the trend that is happening, and even by the admission of some of the persons that you may think he was referring to, you will come to understand when you put one plus one together, you want to know who he has been talking to. You know, we recently, somebody came out and made mention of you know, one of the persons that have prominently featured in all this contention and disagreement, how that the person talking made a pledge of $1,000, and the other person was in a hurry and it was on him to just send the money and all that. So probably those could be the reasons why he chose not to toe the path of some persons and decided to reroute and redirect his path. Now, you know, I've made a video on this matter, on the matter between him and Ebedamina. I said I'm not linking anybody, but I'm just saying now. I made a video on that, and I kind of said that there is nothing wrong in him, you know, well, making mention of the fact that, yeah, my path crossed with this person. But you know, it is not a force. Nobody should force anybody to admit what he don't or say what he doesn't want to say. At the end of the day, we were not there, and only God knows what transpired. But then, secondly, and as much as I also agreed with what he started with, educational background, but it is not completely true that those who are not as educated as he and his wife may be, and some persons he chose now to dine and wine with, it is not completely true that everybody that doesn't have sound educational qualification cannot be disciplined, cannot be disciplined in the areas of money. Apostle Peter was not a graduate. Majority of Jesus's apostles were never graduate. They were not all that lettered. Most of them were, village boys, village men, fishermen. None of the not so many of them were that sound educationally, but they were disciplined. Now, it is about the person, and actually, in most cases, not about the education that we have acquired. After all these politicians that are stealing and stealing the country dry, many of them, most of them, 98% of them are graduates. 98% of them, I mean, a large number of them are, uh, professors in their own fields and in their own right, but yet they are thieves and they are bleeding the country dry. So, for me, I want to believe that discipline is a personal thing, whether you were educated or not. So many of our great grandfathers, our grandfathers, and our fathers that didn't have the opportunity to go to school, but then they are very meticulous. Their lives are very, very, disciplined, and they try to imbibe and inculcate the same into the lives of their children. Like I said, yeah, in a way, he was right, but not absolutely and completely right. If we say we cannot have relationship with people who probably didn't have the same level of education that we had, we may be missing out on something. Well, that is it. Thank God for him. Thank God for him, and thank God for his ministry. Thank God for everybody around him, and thank God for your life too. Let's know what you think about the video in the comment section. Now, what I want to say here mostly is that there could be some persons in that congregation, who didn't have the kind of educational background that he was referring to and elevating. And what happens to those persons? In his church, there could be persons even in the workforce that are not as educated as he himself, is. Some of them might be dropout. They dropped out not because they wanted to, they dropped out just because, of the circumstances around them and life itself. So we cannot write them off because they they don't have um, the level of education that is approved by our brother Dr. Paul Enenche. So I want to say that education is good, very, very good, but that should not be the criteria to write someone off. Yes, it should not be the yardstick to write someone off. Multitudes in that, amongst those people that he was talking to, pastors and ministers, of the gospel who were there as he was talking. Many of them, a lot of them, didn't have university education. Some of them didn't even finish the secondary school, but it doesn't make them less important in the sight of God. I hope this makes sense to you. God bless you. See you in the next video. Till then, from me to you, shalom.